Located off the coast of Jeollanam-do Province is Hwang-do Island. From there, a boat ride of an hour away lies the untouched Cheongsan-do Island. That's where we went to find a unique funeral rite of the island and seashore villagers, and a glimpse at a possible setting for Hwang Dong-gyu's poem Wind Burial. Wind burial has been practiced among island or seashore residents for family members who were deceased at sea. The bodies are left blanketed only by wind. Staring out into the waters waiting for their loved ones, island or fishing village residents believe death doesn't stop time. Because he believed in continuity of time, the poet deemed the wind burial to be the midway between life and death.
고기잡이 나간 아들을 보내놓고 이제 돌아가셔서 어느 동안 기다리는 동안에 이제 초본을 하는 그런 풍습이 있고요. 또 하나는 이제 위에 보시다시피 선산에 묻히기 위해서 이제 한 3년간 육탈을 해가지고 그 살을 싹 빼고 하고 뼈만 이제 묻히기 위해서 하는 방법이 있습니다.
Instead of burying coffins, they're laid upon big flat rocks and then covered with a thatch-like roof. 2 to 3 years later, on an auspicious day, the body is buried. Starting with the head area, the remains are carefully brushed and washed. Then they're wrapped in hemp cloths to be properly buried.
Wind Burial 1. When I leave the world, let me have a wind burial, dressed in plain clothes, lest I should feel uneasy with an electronic watch still running on my wrist. Put me in a leather bag so that I won't feel too cold. Carry me to Gunsan, a chartered taxi. If the inspection is too rigid there, sneak me into a small boat at Komso. With bent legs, but with an easy heart, I will lie in the bag, passing Sonyu Island, passing the sound of the engine. When the boat touches land, I will be momentarily unconscious, then loose bag, clothes, socks in the chilly late autumn sunlight on a solitary island. When the wristwatch is smashed, I will lose time unnoticed. Let my flesh dry while I barely note at a distance seeds of ripened fruits springing into the wind. Let the piece of white gold on my wisdom tooth shine in the wind. Let me cover my body with the wind like a blanket. Without makeup or promise of redemption, let me be tucked in with the wind's blanket. And let me play with the wind until my blood dries up.
For 14 years since 1982, Hwang's focus on death in the Wind Burial series won critics' acclaim. The wind burial lies in Zen, where life and death coexist. The poet compares life and death to two flowers in bloom on the same branch.
풍장 연작은 죽음을 은폐시키는 게 아니라 죽음을 드러냄으로써 그것이 삶과 얼마나 가까이 있는가를 보여주는 그런 연작이고요. 그것을 통해서 궁극적으로 죽음의 방식을 통해서 삶을 말하는, 죽음의 이미지를 통해서 삶의 절실함, 생의 한 순간순간의 영원성, 그런 것들을 표현하고 있는, 죽음의 이미지를 통해서 삶이 갖고 있는 숭고함을 말하고 있는 그런 시들이라고 볼 수 있겠습니다.
Hwang Dong-gyu captured hearts of cultural elites and the general public with a sophisticated lyricism based on a mix of sensibility and intellect. In 1958, Hwang became known for his Camellia Tree and A Joyful Letter. The poet believed in reinventing his writing style to be the lifeline of poetry.
진실로, 진실로.
Hwang's earlier work, written with a love theme, A Joyful Letter, recaptured young hearts when made into the film The Letter. A Joyful Letter describes the agonizing weight of an unrequited love. This broke free from traditional concepts of love based on persistent waiting.
A joyful letter. Although my thinking of you, my always, be trivial to you, like the sun setting and wind blowing in the background behind you. Someday, when you have to painfully wander endlessly, I will call to you with the triviality that I kept a long time. The reason I truly, truly love you is that I have changed love into endless waiting. As the night falls, snow begins to pour into the valley. My love, too, will come to a stop at some moment. I think only of my waiting at that moment. I believe, meantime, snow will stop, flowers will bloom, leaves will fall, and again, snow will pour.
일반적으로 연애시는 사랑의 영원성, 사랑이 끝까지 갈 거라는 것을 확신하고 그런 것을 이제 노래하게 됩니다. 그러나 즐거운 편지는 사랑이 그친다는 것, 다시 말하면 사랑이 정지할 것을 예고하고 그것을 예감하는 시입니다. 그러나 이것은 사랑을 부정하는 시라고 하기보다는요, 사랑이 그칠 것을 얘기함으로써 오히려 그 사랑의 절실함을 역설적으로 말하고 있는.
Since A Joyful Letter, Hwang's style has changed. In the 1970s, he criticized the society with works such as The Eye of the Martial Law. The 80s dealt with death in a series of works including Wind Burial. Then in the 90s, he switched to existentialism with writings such as The Alien. Riding the winds of change, Hwang Dong-gyu, there's still youth in his literary world.
황정규 선생은 4.19 세대를 대표하는 시인 가운데 하나인데요. 4.19 세대라고 하면 한글로서 사유하고 한글로서 언어를 구사할 수 있었던 그런 최초의 세대입니다. 그중에서도 황동규 선생은 자기 실존에 대한 개인적인 관심과 사회적인 관심을 분리시키지 않고 그것을 고도의 절제된 언어를 통해서 표현함으로써 우리 한국 현대시가 갖고 있는 현대적인 감각을 끝까지 밀고 나간 그런 시인으로 우리가 평가할 수 있을 것 같습니다.
꽃. 나는 나무들이 꽃을 잔뜩 피워놓고 열매가 생기기를 우두커니 서서 기다린다고 생각할 수가 없다. 사방에서 벌이 잉잉거릴 때 꽃들은 먼발치로 달려오는 벌을 맞으러 하나씩 문을 열 것이다. 꽃송이 하나하나가 마침 파고든 벌을 힘껏 껴안는 이 팽팽함. 대나무나 벚나무 상공에서 새들은 땅 위에서 환한 구름이 일어나는 것을 보고 잠시 천상과 지상을 잊을 것이다.